I'm so happy to see all of you here today. But without further ado, I would love to present our special guest today. This is her first time being at the Insider's Advantage. And she's a very good friend of mine. And she is going to present one of the, no, I have to say, the most fun cruise line that we have out there. So please give all the love, all the hearts, and everything you do to Brisma. She's our manager from Carnival Cruise Line. Hi, Brisma. Good morning.
Hi. Good morning, good evening, good afternoon to everyone. I'm really happy to be here. Thank you for the intro, Tatiana. So as Tatiana and Ari did mention and did such a great job at mentioning, yes, I love the little chat box and I love how engaged everyone is here. So thank you for that. My name is Brisma Fermin and I'm the business development manager for Carnival Cruise Line. And I have been with Carnival for a little bit over 10 years. And as Tatiana mentioned, today, as you can see on the screen, it's all about choosing fun, right? So for those of you that maybe have not had the opportunity to go on board a Carnival cruise and want to know a little bit more, want to know what we're about as a brand and as a company, and if you're the right fit, then this is exactly why you're here today. And I thank you for being here. And for those of you that may have already been on a Carnival cruise and you want to see what's new, what do we look like now, what do we have going on, then I have something for you as well. So thank you again for being here. And without further ado, I'm going to go ahead and move on to what makes Carnival not only one of the most fun cruise lines, but also the most popular cruise line, right? And so one of the things you're going to hear me say a lot is the fact that we are a multi-generational cruise line, right? And the reason I say that is because our average age is 48, right? That's our average cruise age. And the reason why that's our average cruise age is because our guests range anywhere between, under 10 years old, so very young children. And then we have a middle age. And then, of course, we have even our older demographic. So we have a really great blend, a really great kind of mix of all ages on board. And a funny fact about that is that Carnival Cruise Line or Carnival Corp, right? We have several cruise lines, two of them being Holland, America, and Princess. And even with them, which cater to an older demographic, we still have more seniors that sail on board, more families that sail on board. Every year we have 5 million guests that cruise Carnival, and we have more families than any other cruise line. So just wanted to get you with some numbers first. If you notice on the screen, I also put our guest satisfaction. So that's something I'm going to touch up on as well. So our guest satisfaction right now is at 98%. So for those of you that knew Carnival 30 years ago, 20 years ago, even 10 years ago, when I started working at Carnival, it's changed so much, right? The evolution of the company has, like any company, right? It has evolved. And so what we do and what we've done over the last couple of years is that we have really listened to what our guests have told us, the feedback, good or bad, and we've implemented them across our fleet. And I'm going to go through some of those, I guess you can say some of those changes, some of those things that we've definitely put across our fleet to enhance our fleet and our guest satisfaction, okay? All right, so I am doing my very best, ladies and gentlemen, to make sure that I am going at a speed that works for everyone. I had mentioned to Ari, as a New Yorker, I'm a fast talker. So no problem. So I'm going to try to slow down a little bit more. I'm going to move on to the next slide. And actually, let me go back a bit right here. And this is a video. So Tatiana, I think you are going to take over the video portion. All right, here we go. Thunderstruck on Carnival.
What's Thunderstruck? Thunderstruck is...
Are you guys ready to get thunderstruck?
I am.
Thunderstruck!
That's when you know!
You got Thunderstruck.
Okay, so that is, thank you so much. I love this. So that is one of the videos and one of the concepts that we came out with about 2 years ago. It's called Thunderstruck, right? So Thunderstruck is all about the fun, as you can tell in the video. The reason I chose this video is because of the fact that when you look at this video, you can see yourself in this video. This video could be anyone, all ages, all demographics, because Carnival is about bringing everyone on board and bringing the fun for all and making sure that everyone has a cruise vacation that they're going to be able to remember, that you can enjoy with your kids, with your husband, with your family, with your cousin, with your girlfriend, with your parents, right? And so that's why this video is actually, we have several of these, but I chose this one because I just think it kind of brings in the fun, as we had mentioned before. All right. So as we move along, I want to show you, and I want to give you a little bit of, like, I guess, a personal, not necessarily a personal story, but just so that you see from my experience, when we say choose fun together, what we mean by choose fun together. So we, as I mentioned, we cater to everyone. So if you're thinking, okay, am I the right fit for Carnival, right? And so if you are someone that is a relaxed extrovert, right? So what I mean by relaxed extrovert is someone that likes to go, as you see on the first image, maybe relax by the pool, have a nice cocktail, have a book, just sit down with your significant other. But maybe later on, you want to maybe do something adventurous and you want to go on a ropes course. And if you're not afraid of heights, or if you want to maybe challenge yourself, you can go on one of those activities. But then in the nighttime, you maybe want to get on the floor. Maybe you want to go to the disco. Maybe you want to go to our piano bar, which I'm going to talk about shortly. Or maybe you want to test your luck in the casino, right? We have comedy shows. There's so many different things. And so that is what we consider a relaxed extrovert. And it should be what you want to do in any vacation. Have all these different things that you can choose from, different activities. And if you're like excited one day and you're more adventurous the other, or more relaxed, there's always something for you to do on board. If you are going with your family, right? We are known as the fun ships. And one of the things I mentioned is the fact that we have so many multi-generational families that cruise on board. And so kid pleasers, as you can see on some of these photos that I'm sharing with you, these are just families having a really great time, right? So whether they're watching a movie on the Lido deck in our seaside theater, going down the water slide, there's so many activities that you can do on board when you're traveling with a family. So it's really a lot of fun. And then I mentioned multi-generational. And I told you that I would be saying that throughout the presentation. And so multi-generational cruising, right? There's something for everyone to do. One of the things we have noticed as a company is that ever since the pandemic, right, that everyone was affected by, we have seen even more families cruise together, right? And I'm sure many of you in the chat can relate that when we were able to start vacationing again, not only did we want to vacation and get out of our house, but we wanted to do it with our loved ones, right? And so that's one of the reasons why I'm so proud of our product right now, because yes, it's nice to get away and do something on your own. When you can go on a vacation and see people that are getting away by themselves, that are getting away with girlfriends, or that are getting away with their family, and everyone is having a great time, it's just amazing to see. And I see that so often when I go on board our ships. So it makes me really proud. And then, of course, the young at heart, right? And we say young at heart, right? Young at heart, because a lot of our guests, age is just a number. And you'll see that a lot of our guests are doing the same activities that some of the kids are doing. It is so much fun. But there's something for them to do as well on board, because we have so many different activities, whether it's the casino, which is very popular, whether it's a different games we have, including bingo and Jeopardy, or just going to one of the comedy shows. There's always something for everyone to do. And so I love the emojis. I can't get over these emojis, Tatiana. I love them because everyone's so engaged. It makes me feel like I'm actually talking to people. All right. So when we talk about some of the guest satisfactions that I mentioned before, 98% and or more. Thank you. I see the emojis. I'm going to continue bothering you throughout the presentation to give me more emojis. It gives me more energy, and I haven't had coffee this morning, so it's going to help. So thank you. All right. So when we talk about upgrades and enhancements, so we have a state-of-the-art hub app, and it's one of the things our guests had definitely asked for. If you've ever been on one of our cruises, I'll be the first to say that years ago, when you were going to the dining, and some cruises still have it this way. Thankfully, we don't. But it's just a matter of like upgrading systems, right? And so we have the app where you can actually, if you have the early or the late dinner, you can let our staff know that you're on the way, or even our flexible dinner. So as to when you arrive, there is no line, right? You can order from the app anywhere. If you want to order room service, you can order from the app. All of the activities are there. So we still give you a paper fun times, which has all the schedules of what's available on board. But to try to minimize the paper use, one of the reasons we came up with the app is also because of that. But it's so user-friendly. You can see any specialty dining. You can check in. If there is anything you want to do and you want a reminder for later, you see the screen, it shows this little heart. So you can put a heart on any activity that you want to make sure you remember to go to later, like at 8 p.m., I want to go to, you know, the karaoke. And the app is going to remind you. And that is free of charge. We do have a $5 fee for you to be able to communicate with other guests on board. So you don't need a Wi-Fi package if you don't want one. If you really want to get away, go on a cruise and get away and be disconnected from the world, then you can just use that chat feature, which is for $5, and you can communicate with your kids on board. You can communicate with grandparents, with any family members or friends that are with you on the cruise. So it's really great. One of the enhancements we've made. And I think we're going in a different order, but it's okay. But I mentioned to you guys that I've done a lot of different cruises. And so the pictures are a little bit wobbly right now, but I have done cruises. So there's my child right here. I just wanted to give you some of my personal experiences. I have done solo cruises, like by myself, to just get away. That one was 4 days, not too long. I have done work cruises, of course. Tatiana and I'm sure Ari are familiar with those. I've done couples cruise, as you can see right there. And I've done cruises. You can't see them. They're in the back. But I've done cruises with my dad, with my mom. I've done cruises with my girlfriends, where we've brought our kids. And everyone has had fun. So I just wanted to share some photos with you. I don't think I can move them around. But either way, I wanted to share some photos with you so that you can see all the different types of cruises. There's one of my son there swimming with the dolphins. So every single time we've gone, we've all had such an amazing time, and all for very different reasons. But nonetheless, we had a blast. All right, so I think we have this video. I wasn't necessarily going to show it, but since it's on the screen, let me play it for you. This is a girls' trip, so it kind of goes in line. Yes, this one. So let's play this one right here. I'm not moving the screen. Is anybody moving the present? Okay, here we go. All right, let's see if we can play this.
Three best friends. One Caribbean cruise. Do they have what it takes to choose fun together? Girls Cruise, the movie. Not an actual movie.
So this is a girls' cruise. So I've done all of these things that you are seeing in this particular video, because I'm definitely a spa girl. So for all my spa ladies and gentlemen, you will totally understand. So let's talk a little bit about our fleet. So we have 24 ships, soon to be 25. We have a ship that's going to be called the Carnival Fleet, that's going to be departing out of Long Beach. And I want to move forward and show you all the different places that we actually go to. So you might know us. Okay. You might know us for being like reigning in the Caribbean, right? Which we do. We are king or queen, whichever you want to call in the, oh yeah, somebody said I want a girls cruise. Yeah, let's go. Girls cruise are awesome. But I know I get very, I get into these chats and I'm like having conversation with you guys, but yes, it's a really fun time. But yeah, so we reign in the Caribbean. We have probably the most space in the Caribbean than any other cruise line, but we are so much more than just the Caribbean. So yes, we go to Mexico, we go to the Bahamas, Bermuda. I'm going to surprise you guys later on with some of the other places that we visit, but we have our Australians the Australians love us. And so we have such a great market in Australia. We have so many guests that leave from Australia, travel to Australia, and incredible itineraries that are departing from there as well. We have Panama Canal sailings, which are extremely popular. Those are only a couple times a year. So I do recommend that if you have that on your bucket list, those are one of the cruises you book a little bit more in advance than you typically would a traditional cruise. And then, of course, during the summer, we go to Europe. So right now, we're getting ready to take one of our ships over to Europe for the summer months. And we do Med cruises and Eastern Med. So it's really great. So that's another option for those of you that, I know we have a lot of people in Europe already. But for those of you that maybe want to experience Europe or haven't been able to go, this is a great way to do so as well, while still keeping the fun. And talking about the fun. So we are about fun, but the main thing behind the fun, because it sounds like you're going there and there's going to be like, it's not like you're going to go there, there's going to be balloons and it's going to be like you're going to a kid's birthday party, right? The thing is that we want our guests to come as they are. So that's really, really important to us, is that making sure that everyone on board feels welcome, right? No matter who they are, where they come from, how they look, none of that matters, right? And so we make everyone feel at home, and making sure that we're giving them the attentive service, making sure that we have variety, relaxed dining, elegant dining, just a mixture of everything. So let's take a look and see what awaits you on board a Carnival cruise. And so let's go into like the fun of outdoor fun, right? And so you probably saw in the previous video, and I will go over Bolt, which is one of the roller coasters. We have on 3 ships, right? We have Bolt, but on a lot of our other ships, we have something that's called the Sports Square, right? And that's this right here, the Sports Square. The Sports Square is an area where there's going to be a lot of different activities for you to do, right? So whether it's the Sky Ride, which is this image down here at the bottom, you can actually get on this. It's almost like a car that's in the air, right? Our Carnival Waterworks, which is where we have the big slides for the adults and the bigger children. And then we have the smaller ones with the sprinklers for the smaller children and kids. And I mentioned the Seaside Theater, which is great. You can go there. We have movies. You'll have an opportunity to see movies with the kids. We have them so you can see the adult ones that we have as well. Nothing is like rated R. Everything will be, even if it's without the children, it's still like PG movies. And of course, popcorn, and you can sit down whenever there's not a Lido deck party. We have movies. So it's a little bit of mix of both. This is our ultimate playground. And so some of the other things that you can expect are like mini golf. We have a course where you can run. There's chess. There's like life-size chess. We have billiards or pool for those of you that play pool, right? We have those as well. There's tons of games. There's pickleball, tennis, like the smaller tennis. So racquetball, I think. What is it called, Tatiana? But you guys get what I'm saying, right? So I always forget the name of that particular game. So there's tons of different games on board. This is the ultimate playground. This is Bolt, right? So for those of you that are not familiar with Bolt, I'll go back. This is a concept that we released first on our Mardi Gras ship, which is out of Orlando. 2 people can board the roller coaster. It's not too scary. You can control the speed, right? So, all right, good. Okay, yes, the pickleball. You can control the speed. It goes up to 45 miles per hour, I believe. You get 2 whole turns or 2 rides. The ride goes around multiple times, but you get 2 rides. It is, I want to say it's like 200 feet across, right? Of roller coaster, if you will. But it's really fun. It's on, like I said, it's on 3 of our ships. It's on all of our Excel class ships, which are, I'm going to go over shortly. All right. So entertainment, right? Entertainment, I'm going to go over some of the options that we have. If you can see, this is one of my favorite shows that we do. It's one of our aerial performances. And those are like, you don't want to miss those. It's one of my favorite things to do. But we have tons of different performers and performances that we do on board. What I really love to mention about this is that our performers, they are performers. And what I mean by that is, they're not doing anything else on the ship. These are people that have studied, right? They have gone to performing arts schools across the world, and this is what they do. This is their passion. So these are experts that are going to be there, and they're experts in their trade. So when you see a show, if you haven't experienced like a Broadway show, growing up in New York, I went to so many Broadway shows. So, but like Vegas style shows as well, right? And so it's a really great mixture of both. So if you haven't had the opportunity to maybe do a Vegas show or a Broadway show, you can experience that on board with us. So really great opportunity to do that. Some of the other entertainment, I mentioned the comedy club, our piano bar, which is if you're not really into the club, but you want to listen to music, we have someone that's going to actually go ahead and have any songs that you request. So it's really great. Karaoke. So I think everyone knows karaoke, right? I think most of the people in the chat are going to be like, yes, I know karaoke. I'm a fan of karaoke. So there you go. So we have the karaoke, very popular on board. And our playlist productions, right? So our playlist productions is different game shows, right? As you see here, the game shows. So we have Family Feud on some of our ships. We have Jeopardy. There are a lot of different shows that we have. Oh, somebody said tango classes. Ooh, I love tango classes. That might be something I have to suggest because we don't have tango classes, but I'm totally down for that. All right, awesome. All right, so let's go and move along. All right, so what are my casino lovers? I want to see in the chat. Where are the people that love, you know, after they, you know, they had their dinner, they want to go ahead and test their luck, right? Oh, yes, I see. Me. Okay, Ami, I speak Spanish, so I can read it. At least I can do that. I can't do it with all the other languages, but I'm trying to learn Italian, okay? So to my Italian friends, okay, there we go. So we have a couple of gamblers. So one of the things we've done with the satisfaction surveys I mentioned, I'm going to go back to those, is that a lot of our guests were asking us for years about non-smoking and smoking options. So what we've done over the years is that we've kind of transitioned all of our fleet to have an area that is a smoking area in the casino and a non-smoking area in the casino. So we've kind of had to restructure our casino a little bit so that everyone has kind of the same play, whether on whichever side of the casino you're on. And it'll be different on some ships. On some ships, they have an entire different room, right, where they're divided by a physical kind of entrance or a wall. And then on some other casinos, it's kind of divided in half, or it'll start in the beginning and then the other side is non-smoking. But the point about it is we're talking about welcoming all. And so we wanted to make sure, since it was something that came up a lot, yes, I see some people are like excited about that. We wanted to make sure we were offering both, right? For smokers and for people that are non-smokers as well. So the latest casino games and you know, I'm not a big gambler. I wish I gambled a little bit more. My sister gambles a lot, and she goes to, for those of you that know Atlantic City, and she always does so well. So I'm always like so jealous that I don't win, but you can't win unless you test your luck, right? So I just have to kind of go for it. All right, but moving along, ladies and gentlemen, I mentioned I am a spa girl. So one of the things I want to talk to you about is Cloud9 Spa, right? For the rest of the ship, I just want to say, somebody asked, we have smoking areas across the ship. I want to acknowledge that real quick because I just saw it. So we do have, for most of the ship, it is non-smoking, of course, indoors, on the balconies and in the rooms. However, we have several areas on the ship, and not just like one confined area, but there are several areas on the ship that you can go for smoking if you are a smoker. So again, a little bit of everything for everyone, okay? All right, so moving along to the spa. So we have something called Cloud9 Spa. All of our ships have a spa. Cloud9 Spa is just a little bit different. It has a couple, it's like a level up in the sense. So if you are a spa lover, I would recommend a ship that has Cloud9 Spa. So inside the Cloud9 Spa, we have thermal suites. So for those of you that are spa lovers and have been to like your local spas, or when you go on vacation, you hit the spa, then you have an idea what thermal suites are. But it's just a combination of different rooms. So sometimes it's a sauna and a steam room. We have all of the sauna, steam room. We have aromatherapy room. So the aromatherapy room, you go in and it actually releases the different scents. That's my favorite room. So if you press a button, eucalyptus, there's different scents that you can pick. So, or lavender, for example. We have infrared room, and then we also have a relaxation room. So I recommend bringing a book, maybe just something for you to kind of relax, or even some AirPods, if you will, anything like that. We also feature a thalassotherapy pool. So a thalassotherapy pool is basically a pool, and it's full with different minerals and crystals. And so this is part of the Cloud9 spa experience as well. So you go to the sauna, you know, maybe go ahead and kind of scrub down, and then now you can go in this pool and replenish your skin with all these vitamins and minerals. So I've done the thalassotherapy pool as well, and I highly recommend it. Highly recommend it. But if you don't want to do the spa, right, and you just want to have an experience to relax, one of the great things is our adult-only retreat. And that's why I mentioned that whether you're going with the kids, or you're doing a couples cruise, or you're doing a family cruise, you have times where you can do a little bit of things for your family, a little bit of things for yourself, right? So Serenity is for adults 21 and over. Can I get an amen? I'm kidding. All right. 21 and over. So nobody else that is under that age can go there. And as you can see, like when you look at this picture, this should be on board the Celebration. Most of them do look very relaxed. They have blue. We have the day beds, there's pools and hot tubs in there as well. A salad station, so you can get some nice fresh food. And of course, bars, if you want to drink a mimosa, anything like that is available here. One of my favorite things to do in the Serenity deck is to get there early, because I'm a sunrise lover. And the views, the Serenity deck is always at the very top of the ship. Yes, Mamma Mia. The views from the top deck are amazing. So whether sunrise or sunset, yeah, somebody also loves suns over here, or sunrises, is beautiful from this deck. It's one of my favorite things to do on this deck. All right, but then, so you've gotten your time, your me time with your significant other or by yourself, which is what I usually do, because I wake up early in the morning. Nobody wants to go to see the sunrise at 6:50 a.m. But moving along, you've done that, and now you're like, okay, what are my kids? You're going on a family cruise. What can my kids do? So we have fun for all ages. We do break it down by age group, right? And so I'll go over here and show you the age group and how we break it. Well, actually, what's going on? Okay, I think we missed a slide or so, but I'll tell you a little bit about it. So it starts at 2 years of age all the way up to 17. And we actually have them in different kind of age groups so that they're doing activities that are based on that age group, right? We don't want a 5-year-old playing the same activity as an 11-year-old, right? Because it's not going to be, they're not going to be having fun, right? So, and our camp ocean is free of charge. And that starts usually around, depending on the sea day or a port day, but it's usually around 8 to 9 a.m. And it goes through all the way up until 10 p.m. at night, free of charge. We do have night owls right here, as you can see, for children's 11 and under, right? And that's going to come out, I believe it's at $6.75 an hour. My son just turned 11, so he no longer goes to the camp ocean, but he did for many years. He basically, his first cruise, he was like, maybe like 3 years old. So he had a lot of time on board and absolutely loved it. So the 10 o'clock is when it's $6.75 an hour all the way up until 1 a.m. So if you want to, if you kind of are like on a family cruise and you want to leave the kids and maybe go out for a late dinner or maybe go see a show, then you can definitely do that. The kids have so much fun because when we do the 10 p.m. till 1, it's usually they're going to do either like a pajama party or they're going to do like a laser, like glow in the dark party, like a laser party. Or there's a dance party. Most of the times when you pick them up, they're not sleeping. So by the time they get to the cabin, they're going to go to sleep, but it's a lot of fun. And then of course our Seuss at Sea. So Dr. Seuss is our mascot, if you will, kind of. And we do a Dr. Seuss breakfast as well. So those are, I would say, for the little ones. I think like you're still safe maybe at 8 or 9 years and under for Dr. Seuss, but it's a lot of fun. I'm going to move along. And we may have a little bit of an issue with the slides. So in case I go back, because there's a slide that I'm missing for the age groups, but in case I go back, just know I'm giving you a warning. But moving along from the kids, I don't see any questions about the kids. So I'm going to move on to the food, right? So for the foodies, right? I'm a foodie as well. You guys are going to know a lot about me by the time we're done with this presentation, but I'm a foodie. And so guest satisfaction, we've decided to really transform our dining venues and offer you a lot more just options, right? A lot more variety. And so when you go on board, you can expect to have our specialty dining as well as some of our more relaxed eats. So I'll go over some of the specialty dining. So this right here is a picture of our teppanyaki, right? And I'm sure most of you are aware where you get the food and it's like cooked right in front of you. This ends up being a 4-course meal, and you can choose from whatever you want. So if you would like lobster or filet mignon, or if you want salmon, or you want to mix and match, all of that you can absolutely do. These restaurants, the specialty dining, they do come at a nominal fee. They range between $35 to $45, depending on the venue, right? The steakhouse is probably the one that's closer to the $42, I believe, at the moment. And then talking about the steakhouse is going to also be it's a 3-course menu, but it becomes a 4-course menu because the chef always gives you an amuse-bouche or a surprise, right? I didn't see any French, but if I have any French people, you guys know